Hey everyone, it's Suzi here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, this is going to be a jam-packed dev insights and a whole bunch of other updates and notices. Okay, so before Christmas, I recorded my video for the dev insights for December 19th, but I haven't even posted that yet. It was just too many other things to post about and not enough time to edit and double post, so you know how it goes. No regrets though. It's been really nice having extra time away, actually enjoying family and holiday time, and yeah, it's been nice to stress a little less. Overall with my channels, if I didn't post on King Arthur, oh well, I just let myself skip some days. So here we are now with a lot of updates to do. So this video will have chapters for all the different things I'm going to talk about. So what I'll do is start with the most recent stuff that are random notices before the dev insights. Then I'm going to play the dev insights from the 19th because they're older. There might be some differences that then get reacted to here for the current one, which was the 26th, which I'm still 4 days late for. But again, holidays, I can't help it there, which again, I'm glad for. So bear with me. If you've already read through or watched someone else talk about the December 19th dev insights, then you can skip to the next chapter. So that's what I'll do. It'll be random updates and fun stuff, then December 19th, then December 26th. So let's get into the fun stuff, and why don't we actually start with probably the most important? Oh, in Forerunner server news as well. But I would say this little notice here might be the most important. We are getting a free, unpolished, legendary Soulstone, 1,000,000 gold, and 5 huge stamina potions. On the 31st. So, if you haven't started playing yet and you're debating to, you better start your account before this goes out or you're probably not gonna get it. But yeah, the claim is from the 1st, or from the 31st, which is tomorrow, or today. Today! We should have this today as far as when I'm posting this video. Oh boy. Okay, so there is a multiple days, so you can tell your friends if you start a new account by the 6th. That's a good time to do it. It's like, so this unpolished legendary soulstone is a copy of Sun Wukong. Let's be honest, that's how most of us are seeing this. So they say, as we welcome the new year, the Watcher of Realms team is thrilled to embark on another year of adventure with you across the land of Taya. To mark this special occasion, we'd like to extend our warmest wishes for a successful and prosperous 2025 to all of our commanders. So yeah, they gave us a free Sun Wukong dupe. There's a bunch of other fun stuff here. I'm actually going to be going over some Sun Wukong information for like a bit of an ultimate guide. And in case you missed it, there is still this Heavens 1 equal promo code that's really interesting. Is this the one that is the random box? Alright, so I never did this one, so let's do this together. Don't leave the space. Oh, don't try to double click it either. Alright, and here is the little fancy surprise chest where you can get up to 10 ancient summoning crystals. And I got the 300 diamonds. It's fine. We also have this little Times Square event highlight trailer. Alright, I'm going to turn the sound off because we know how they like to give us copyright music. So there was this is the in-person event that we showed and talked about a little bit beforehand. Just some highlight of the video. With their cosplayers. So cute. Super cool though, for real. That is some crazy prosthetics and makeup, right? They really did amazing. Like the level of cosplay. It's not just some casual cosplayers. This is legit. Insane. Let me know if you guys were here and you're in this video. I know Trax, Tony, you're here. Haha, I saw you. Love the custom merge. It was such a clever thing to do. I know there was like custom collectible cards as well. Love that they had stuff playing in Times Square. That's just so cool. That's super fun, right? Oh, I love that. I would love, as, you know, Godforge being so community focused, to end up doing interesting stuff like that as well. Not that you could just meet everybody in every city or country or whatever, but something in person would be pretty neat, I think. So instead of playing or talking about the Forerunner server news, which have some juicy stuff here, first, we're going to play the last Dev Insights because that is more of the chronological order. In case some of the things said here end up happening after the fact, then it won't be confusing. So now let's roll into December 19th Dev Insights. Then we will pop back for the Forerunner server update, which is impressive. Then we will come to the December 26th Dev Insights. All right, I'm going to read this one about Micah in case you guys have had the same confusion or question about it. So, when I read Micah's skills, it seems incredible. A really cool idea, great damage and penetration, something that basically defines Silas as well. The game has clear definition for defense, physical damage, and magic resistance, magic damage. Silas, in his ultimate, has defense, penetration, and magic resistance. But Micah only has defense penetration? I don't know if it was a description error, but Micah would have penetration against magic resistance, would have to have, as written in Silas's ultimate. I believe that this penetration is wrong so far. It would justify its low damage, but even when maximized with Infernal Teams and an eye together, it doesn't do any damage. Even an eye does more damage. If it's a description error, please fix it. But if it's an error in the way Micah penetrates the enemy's defense, it would make a huge difference to its damage if this was fixed. Please review. So they reply saying, the actual defense penetration effect of ultimates is determined by the damage type of the hero themselves. She has penetration effect against magic resistance. So because Silas has piercing, normal physical damage, in the description it says he does both, right? Because they're also adding extra penetration versus magic. But because Micah is already magic, right? She is, isn't she? Now I'm questioning everything. Her defense penetration is defaulting to against magic resistance anyway, because that's what she deals damage as. So that's what they're trying to say. So she doesn't have both types. It's only magic that she has penetration against. I mean, it makes sense. If she's only dealing magic damage, why would she have physical damage penetration if she's not dealing physical damage, right? I guess that makes sense, but yeah, that's the reason it's worded differently, I guess, is because she... I don't know, then why is Silas worded that way? Maybe it's just bad wording. We know their wording isn't always the best. It's a little bit messy. Feel free to comment below if you have a better reply for this question one. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's just chalk it up to some bad wording, maybe with Silas. But it makes sense if they deal, like someone deals magic damage and they have penetration, they're penetrating magic resistance. All right, expand the Tales of the Smith like Brave Conquest to add more rewards at higher points. So thank you for your input. We'll consider extending the event based on the data and players' feedback. I'm torn on this one because, yes, it's always good to add potential for more rewards. However, if you make the final rewards too high, then players get frustrated if they can't reach them. And while Tales of the Smith is super, super easy for us longtime players to complete, it's really hard for newer players to complete. So if they added a whole extra tier that's even harder to obtain and more expensive gold-wise, it might frustrate the new players, and that could be a factor in someone quitting about the frustrations of gold. So gold is very easy now that we've played for 500 days, but it's not easy in that first couple months. It's hard to get a lot of gold, especially when you're not able to be so picky with selling your gear right away. Unless you're a crazy grinder or big spender and you're just blasting through content. It takes a while before gold feels good. Like, I farmed the gold raid for a long time, probably 6 months even. I'm very guilty of that. And I think if they add more rewards, people always feel like they have to complete all the rewards. Like, no one's gonna stop halfway through, unless they're literally brand new. So I think that could lead to some frustration. So it could have its positives and its negatives, and we have to remember the new player experience as well, right? All right, so this is good to see because this is something they've said the opposite on. So the second part of question 5 says, give us a playtest mode for Semra. I don't understand why this isn't available like Guild Boss 1. We'd love to be able to test new comps and strats. So the last time I read this in a Dev Insights, they said you don't need to have a playtest mode because you don't have to save your key. You could try it as many times as you want. But now it says we are currently making it. So maybe they understand now that people do indeed want to be able to play test after they've done their key. So to be fair, let's be honest, you have a busy week ahead of you, and on Monday when everything resets, you go right ahead and you do your Titanic Ruins run because you don't want to forget it for the week, right? You know your weekend's busy, you don't want to stress about it. But then you get a new hero, or you finally build someone and whatever, I don't know, and you want to try it. You have more time than you expected, and then you can't. You have to wait until next week, which might not be good timing to try it again. So having a playtest mode would allow people to experiment after they've already saved their key. So they are making a playtest mode for real now. That sounds really good. I totally get that. This reply I thought was funny, so I wanted to read. So once again, people asking for a change to ancient gear drops because healing effect, which is not the desired main stat in most cases. Yeah, doesn't belong on some of the sets, right? And, well, I mean, invigoration it does. In this other one it does as well, because it is for healers, but nobody needs a healing effect main stat because it's so easy to get healing effect in substats. So they actually reply saying healing effect is considered to be the best stat for healers at the moment. We will investigate and follow up on the issue. All right, if there are people that take notes on our videos or anything that we say as content creators, staff watching, the reason we don't like healing effect as a main stat is just what I said. It caps too. In some cases, there's diminishing returns. You get more heals based on the multiplier, like HP or attack, instead of going beyond like 100 of healing effect. Last I knew, once you hit like 100 healing effect, you don't need any more. And that's so easy to get in substats. I remember my Bucket's website has like a calculator that puts in the formula and you like put in your stats and it says the output or whatever. And he said this long ago, that healing effect has very diminishing returns, just like rage regen. Like, you're not going to give yourself 300% rage regen. There's no reason. Because it doesn't really give you more after a certain point. And that's how healing effect has seemed to be in this game. So if that's not intended, if it's intended to where if we give a healer 300 healing effect instead of a ton of HP or attack, they should do better, then there's probably a bug that's existed since the start of the game, because that's always been what I've known, that healing effect is capped or has extremely diminishing returns after a certain point. So if that's changed, I missed the boat there, but I think that's still the case, right? Anyone, let me know in the comments below if you've actually noticed massive, massive, massive gains, or have done the real math behind that, besides what we've already talked about. I know, again, my bucket way back at global launch, that was something that was discussed a lot, is that healing effect is kind of pointless because it's so easy to get the stats and, yeah, diminishing returns. Okay, this is a little insight. So question 11, in the gear list, when I sell a piece of equipment, could you please stop scrolling to the top of the list? I'm trying to sell off my crap items, and every time I sell one, you reset the view, and then I have to try to figure out where I was. It makes the whole process taking twice as long. Thanks. So they say, we are planning to conduct a massive scale of changes to the gear sorting. We believe it will provide a better experience for the players in the future. So I think they've heard the concerns about the way it all is now. Like, people think they got rid of the check all unequipped or whatever button, but it's really still there. It's just done in stages, and with a +0 to 4 and 5 to 8 or whatever the hell it all is. Nobody notices those tiny little buttons, it seems, and it's just a weird way to sort. And then there's also a comment a little bit higher up, like, give us a must contain this stat, and if it doesn't, then, and then show everything that does not contain that stat kind of things quickly, which you can, to be fair. It does. Maybe it's just not as obvious as it needs to be. Like, maybe instead of, yeah, honestly, they're literally, if you pick stats and like substats, and then you scroll to the bottom, there's a red section that says this gear does not contain any of these stats. So that's, I think, their way of showing you, if you're looking for the opposite, it's there. But again, maybe it's just, it's all not very obvious. And I think maybe it sounds like they're going to make that whole user experience a bit friendlier. So good to know that they're doing a big revamp of the gear sorting function. Okay, I think this person means something different than the reply. So filter for exclusive gear. This says you can now set a filter that only shows exclusive gear for the hero. I think what they mean is we want to be able to see all of our exclusive gear and see which heroes we have exclusive gear for, versus having to click them all and figure it out later, because there's no special way of noticing right away. If I remember right, it just looks the same at first, except when you pull it, it's obvious. But when you don't, when it's just in your gear sort, you don't notice it as much. Yeah, that, like, a way to just click exclusive gears, no matter which hero you're on, we just want to see, who do we have exclusive gear for? Oh, I didn't even notice I had this piece for Salazar. You know, like, we want to see that. Not have to click every single hero and be like, do they have exclusive gear? Okay, does this one have exclusive gear? Does this one have exclusive gear? You know what I mean? That's not ideal. Did anyone else forget live PvP is coming? So there's this post about someone giving ideas for types of like effects and buffs and dynamic stuff for an arena season. And their reply is, we are already making such content for the arena. More designs that introduce new mechanisms will be added to the live PvP modes and events in the future. I mean, we haven't even, like, we don't have live PvP yet, so just having, what do you mean more will be added? How about you just make the live PvP mode first? Or maybe it's on Forerunner. I don't know if it's on Forerunner yet. Okay. All right, so there's a Sargok bug that will be fixed. It says he's been bugged for over a month now. He's still currently not regenerating rage on his attacks. This is an extremely detrimental bug to his damage. Please give this some more attention. And they said, we've noticed the issue and it will be fixed in the recent version updates. Okay, this is a good reply. This person says, please give us Tireless Raider during all gear raid tournaments. I'm constantly running out of multi-battles and I think this would help. other improvements to the multi-battle economy would also be appreciated, or better yet, do away with them altogether. They reply saying, we will seriously consider your advice. Which part of it? I want to know. So I think doing away with them altogether, King Arthur Legends Rise is a good example of that. Stamina sucks in that game, honestly. It's rough. If you don't spend a lot to get a lot of stamina with your packs, it's too much diamonds spent to have to get it all too. I don't know. It's hard to farm, but at least when you farm, number one, you don't lose energy when you lose a battle, so you can experiment, just like Watcher, luckily. But number two, you just, if you have enough stamina to do 10 multi-battles, you just do 10 multi-battles. Like, you just do it. There's no extra currency for multi-battles. So I would love to see that in this game too. There's no reason to have those extra little random multi-battle currency. Why? Why does it, like, why would people have to click manually? You're just requiring people to, like, use auto clickers or like sit there and stare at their computer and click. Why? If they have the stamina, just let them use it. Right? All right, this is something I totally forget about, which, yeah, I would really love personally, because it's one of the reasons I half the time forget to finish my Void Rift, is the whole auto fighting against the bosses. Nightmare still doesn't have that implemented yet, unfortunately. And yeah, it'd be really nice if it did. They do say they've scheduled auto battles for the Void Rift, and it will be implemented in the future. So that's on their plans, at least. Although they said that, like, forever ago. I don't know. So this talks about a tower feature. Like up to like 100 floors, the boss at the top. You know how it goes. A lot of games have a tower. And we did kind of have a tower with the normalized PvP mode, or PvE mode that they gave us with an event. But it sounds like we might get a more permanent one. So they say we are already planning making similar game modes, so please stay tuned. So are we gonna get a permanent, like, tower content added? I guess we'll find out. Alright, this is interesting. Someone says GVG is the worst mode by far for the following reasons. A lot of bugs related to not scoring points, units not working properly, like walking or the abilities, the time that you have to attack and the rage regen. People with good lords with high BP have enormous advantage. Boring to play over and over again and getting no good rewards for the same bugs and problems. Matchmaking is so bad because it's a BP dependent mode. So they actually reply, the strategy of GVG will be further enriched in the future, especially after Demonic Soldier 2.0. It will bring a more interesting gaming experience. Okay. I mean, that's really quirky. Demon Soldier 2.0? Demonic Soldier 2.0? I don't feel like I've heard that term before. Have they said that in any other different ways? I don't think so. I think this is a new term. Demonic Soldier 2.0. What does that even mean? I don't remember any Forerunner server notes. I mean, they're always changing stuff about Guild War and Forerunner server too before we get it in global, but I don't know. I don't know, guys. All right, this one related to Guild Wars as well. We have a couple guild stuff. So, please reduce the HP of defenses in GVG and also reduce the number of attacks we need to do per round. 16 attacks per week demands way too much on most players, especially with how the rewards per round feel almost non-existent. We will consider increasing the reward of a single attack, followed by monitoring the detailed data and feedback. Alright, I like this one. After releasing a mount, could we use its appearance as a skin for another mount we're using? For example, I really like the Nemesis mount, but I much prefer the effect of Barba. I would also like to use the Barba with the Nemesis appearance. So this is an interesting idea of maybe mixing and matching. Like you choose your buff and you choose your appearance separately. That would be cool. They did say we will consider adding this feature. I could see choosing each thing separately. All right, and there were over 50 questions to look through, so that was a lot and probably a longer video. But the final I'll notice here is the pity bug is why you need a visible pity counter that's available for all players to glance at without having to count their summons. If you had that, playtesters would have instantly known something is wrong with pity, and you could have gotten it fixed before it went live. And they say, we are working on the implementation of a pity counter feature, which will be launched after thorough testing. Stay tuned. Yeah, this is a good point that if you knew your pity count was like, every single time it takes me 99 summons, why 99? What's with this magic number? You know, like 100. Or like you're like, okay, that was 6 temples. 6 temples again. 6 temples again. Why do I keep hitting it at 6 temples again? Like, it would have been way obvious a long time ago that everything was rigged per account. But hey, whatever, it is what it is. Yeah. That was December 19th's Dev Insights. So we have Forerunner server news now. Let's do that. Quick discussion TLDR from the Christmas, well, the day after. 26 was the actual update on the Forerunner server. This is the not test server. It is a similar idea. They definitely do stuff before it goes global a lot, but the test server is different than the Forerunner server. Okay, so heroes, Lyra, optimized some visual effects. Zilla 2 fixed an issue where soul siphoning only dealt level 1 damage during the ultimate. Narvi fixed hero's ultimate trigger. Guild War Season 7 starts over there with Gladiator's Gauntlet as well. So this might give us insight for our next one as well. It says, preparation phase adjustments extended the preparation phase at the start of each Guild War season by 1 week, during which Gladiator's Gauntlet will take place. New season-exclusive Demon Soldier Frostborn Scholar arrives. Commanders can now obtain the Season 6 exclusive Demon Soldier Infernal Cleric through gear raids. Added a Guild War player leaderboard. This leaderboard displays the total personal points earned by commanders based on the number of soul cores destroyed, the defensive side's guild rank, the type of fortifications attacked, and the defensive side's BP. By earning points, you can claim point rewards and seasonal individual ranking rewards. Significantly increased guild coin rewards for each Guild War attack. That's really good. Want to be able to buy all this fun stuff from the shop, right? And then guild shop upgraded. Ancient Summoning Crystal Redemption is now available for level 5 guilds. Ooh. Demon Soldier drop preview is now available in Gear Raid Demon Soldier chest. Alright, Honors Gauntlet. Content update and experience optimization. Oh wait, I forgot to switch my screen back. Sorry guys, this is easier to see. There you go, less distractions. So added a random challenge and removed anti-air DPS challenge. Added 4 new passive commander skills. Balance adjustment to existing commander skills. Reduced punitive strike count 30 seconds to 25 from 30 seconds to 25 seconds. Reduced binding shackles cooldown of 30 seconds to 25 seconds. The Honors Gauntlet, is that the live arena? Right? We don't have that yet, so I don't even know what this means yet. Optimize the battlefield visual presence and challenge stages. A new feature, commander skills of opponent players can now be displayed and viewed during battle. Slightly increased matchmaking probability for random challenge. Gear. Right, gear. The following gear sets will no longer have healing effect as a secondary attribute on their ancient gear pieces. This is something directly asked in, I guess, the Dev Insights. So, Fatality, Curse, Fracture, Hawkeye, Mana Spring, Annihilating Might, Whirlwind, Calamity, the Glacier, Night Terror, the Styx, the Doom, the Wisdom, the Insight, Warlord, Ageless Wrath, Soulbound Arcana, Infernal Roar, Hell's Lament, Cataclysm, and Wicked Vengeance. and increased ancient gear's drop rate. Added a pity system for ancient gear drops. Increased the chance of ancient gear having more high-quality secondary attributes. Added exclusive gear for certain heroes. Holy moly, that's a huge bit of update right there. This whole gear thing is amazing. That's the highlight. This is on Forerunner. This is really happening. Versus Dev Insights, where it's usually talking about things that might happen or not. But they do say this will happen in a future update. So hopefully there's some good stuff there to be excited about as well. But yeah, this is interesting. And then others added new content to the heroes' visit in camp. Heroes will now stay longer in camp and issue new series of quests after their arrival. Added gift function to the skin shop and optimized some camp level quests, optimized some Odyssey quests. All right, now we're going to go into the dev insights that are the newer ones. All right, and now for December 26th dev insights, I'm going to do my best to pick out some interesting ones like always. All right, some talk for Xena. Replace Xena's A3 with her current A5 and change her A5 to either make her attack boost on her ult permanent or reduce her redeployment time by 30 seconds. She still requires at least 3 dismisses to reach full power in this way, but it makes her more viable as a character. Currently, she feels very underwhelming, especially with Ascension. Regardless, I would suggest reducing her deployment time regardless of adjusting her awakenings, so we can effectively make use of her in niche places. And they state here, we will consider enhancing the usability of her Awakening 3. Versus, we will consider reducing her redeployment time. I don't know. But hey, there's hope. All right, this is a good reply here, just to know where their head's at for now. People suggested adding a pity on the Soulstones from Guild Boss. It's a huge power creep, and the fact it's hidden behind RNG is really bad for the game. Over 1 year, some players with the same level of progress are able to obtain 5 Soulstones, while others only 1, and this is only due to RNG. Add a pity of like 600 open chests where you don't get a Soulstone on the 601. If you don't have it, it drops. They say, thank you for your feedback. We currently do not plan to add a pity system for some of the more cherished in-game items. It's a gacha game at the end of the day. They're all about RNG, so not surprised by that one. And actually, there's still people asking for legendary skill crystals to get more and more and more of them, but personally, I have to say, I've definitely noticed the increase. Like, I might not work on a couple new people for a bit, and then I go to upgrade them, and I have like 20. Like, I feel like I never had a single extra soul or skill crystal for the longest time. And now I always have a couple on deck, even if I start upgrading everybody right away. So I feel like it's gotten better personally, just in general, from being able to purchase them or getting the shards of them in other random places. I don't really get them from Guild Boss that often. Alright, this is pretty cool here. So, let me scroll down a little bit more. There we go. So, good evening. I wanted to suggest something about the heroes. We all know about their stories, and most of it, if not all, are very interesting. To read and learn deeper about the heroes. From the stories I've read, heroes overview, each one has their own goal, vengeance, revenge, mission, etc. that they're pursuing. For example, Lysier is trying to find the gems to his staff to reclaim his dominion of the sands. Eris tries to find Torador to save his species from imprisonment. Valeria wanting to take revenge on the orcs who eliminated her people. Getting to the point now, my suggestion is that once each hero gets to Awaken 5, their character changes just a little in terms of design. Nothing that would change their stats, but maybe a small animation of them completing their long-awaited quest or vengeance that the design, the design would show it. That's so clever. Like Lysier's staff would be completed, glowing with power as sands whipped around him. or, well, the rest of it they cut off. But they did reply saying, we will consider some design changes for heroes upon reaching Awakening 5, which could include form changes or animations. I love that. That's such a fun idea. Such a fun idea. That's just make them feel extra special when you hit the Awaken 5, besides having that Roman numeral 5 on their avatar, of course. All right, so there's been like an annoying yellow dot notification for fusing heroes like Salazar. So asking to remove it, and they do say we will remove it in the upcoming versions. Thank you for the suggestion. So personally, I also wish they would get rid of the red dots for just in general doing your Void Rift for the week and doing the Void Rift epilogue. Like once you've clicked it, be like, okay, I got it, I know. But then again, you want the reminder. I don't know. But what I mean is, if I have something new happening, I don't even notice it because I'm used to the red dots always being there. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like sometimes there's too many things in one place. And if you choose to ignore, like the war room's just a mess. If you want to ignore one thing in the war room, you won't really notice if you have a notification for something else because you're just trying to ignore that red dot, which will make you forget about other things. I don't know how to explain it, but maybe you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like that there's so much in the war room that has a red dot that if I choose to ignore this one thing for now, I'm still stuck with the red dot. Like, let me get rid of the red dot somehow, maybe? I don't know. It's like, okay, Void Rift Epilogue is you do it once, you don't have to worry about it. Like, so I still haven't done it, but that's because I know it's hard. And I want to do some other stuff first that's more important. And I don't know. I just, yeah, don't want to be notified until I feel like going to it on my own. And I feel like sometimes I might forget about something like Tide or whatever because I'm just, oh, the red dot's always there. It's always there. Oh my god, the next one is so true. I didn't even notice. I remember reading this, but forgot about it because you don't see it. But please make sure that whenever a menu is not fully visible, that there's an indicator for more options. For example, I did not realize that in the Dwarven Association, there was one more shop, the Immortal Codex, after the dungeon shop. An arrow would help. And they say we will consider adding this suggestion in future optimizations. Yeah, literally, I didn't even realize you're supposed to scroll it over. So like, this is how it shows, right? And you're like, okay, cool. Dungeon shop. All right, that's all. Like, oh, you can't see it again because I gotta switch my screen. So, okay, there's the whole thing. That's it. If you keep scrolling, there's the Immortal Codex shop that's currently not there because it's closed. However, didn't even notice that it was actually added, although I remember them saying that now in hindsight. But yeah, that's so true. Like, you might not even realize that there's something else to keep scrolling for. So apparently there must be an update or a banner coming soon that I have not noticed. I'm a little behind on looking at the leaks. And with the holidays. And Demi Elder in discussion. They're asking to let us know about their plans. That people are going to be overly complaining that they need a buff again if they put out another banner that they're on, and you're just kind of like, meh. So they do say we will optimize Demi in the near future. They don't say Elder, though. I don't know. Elder's interesting. I know Trax would be sad if you say he's bad. Trax loves his Elder. That's from my video as well on my channel. That was with him. And yeah, I think Demi is actually really interesting. And I know that when she first came out, there were some people in my Discord talking about how amazing she actually is. Like, I think she's actually the best for anti-healing, technically, just at least for that. But maybe she's not as much of a DPS, but she's amazing for that role. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have Demi, so I can't really speak on any experience there. But I know she's one that people are usually feeling underwhelming about. So I guess that's good news. So this is kind of a bummer. I do love this kind of an idea that there should be a weekly rotation of banned heroes for guild versus guild. The meta is always changing, so if like every week, you know, someone else, you cannot use Ingrid, you cannot use Praetus, you cannot use Valderon or Ardea or someone, you know, someone super OP. it makes you change which team you use. But they say we do not plan to ban heroes for now. Alright, this post here is about the gold quests in the camp regarding like the cart, whether or not you get gold, like or purple epic or green, blue, whatever. And they do say that we are currently designing optimizations for this aspect and we'll update it soon. Please stay tuned. So this post is just talking about the fact that we don't get enough. There should be maybe some sort of guarantees to have like one every rotation or some sort of like pity for it or something. Yeah. They're always working on improving the whole camp thing. It's still pretty new overall. Alright, and last but not least, they do mention again in this one, the pity counter will be launched soon instead of having to count all of our own summons. So, I think I covered everything. There's been a lot of updates going on lately. There's constant news and server news changes, all sorts of craziness. Oh yeah, this too. This is something I will have a video on shortly. There is a new guide generator, which is something I haven't got a chance to play with myself because holidays were here. Yeah. But alrighty, we'll talk about that one completely separate. That's its own video for sure. But thank you guys for watching this long-ass video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.